Amjad needs a break. He'll be okay, don't worry. It'll toughen him up, you know. We'll make a doctor out of you. Okay, Unit G now. So, again, 3 questions to practice, and maybe actually people will find this easier than Unit F because it's just straightforward calculation. Let's have a look at 1A now. 1A actually, they ask you to factorize this cubic. Now, the way to factorize it, you have to guess the one answer first. So, try x equals minus 1, and you'll get minus 1 cubed minus 9 times minus 1 squared plus 23 times minus 1 minus 15, and that equals 0. Therefore, x equals minus 1 is a root. Therefore, x plus 1 is a factor. Yes? What's wrong? Oh, sorry. I have my signs backwards, don't I? This should be plus, this should be plus, and then this one here is minus. Okay. Now, the nice thing is, remember, you're supposed to try all the answers from minus 3 to 3. Okay? So we try 1. Now, try x equal to positive 3. So, yes?
The number between the brackets is positive 1, right?
Oh yeah, these are all positive ones now. 3 cubed minus 9 times 3 squared plus 23 times 3 minus 15 equals 0. Therefore, x equal to 3 is a root. Therefore, x minus 3 is a factor. Now, normally you only get 1 root by guessing. But in this example, we were able to get 2. If you go from minus 3 to 3, if you check them all. So actually this makes things much easier because we don't need long division to finish this. Because we know now that our cubic, x cubed minus 9x squared plus 23x minus 15 equals x minus 1, x minus 3, and I think we can figure out for ourselves what the last one must be, because remember I said this times this one times this one, those 3 numbers must multiply to minus 15. So minus 1 times minus 3 is 3. So, yeah, so we need a 5 here. Oh, it's minus 15, yeah, so we need a minus 5. So that we've done part A, we found the 3 factors.
And how do I know if it has 3 factors or 1 factor?
You don't, that'll be semester 2.
So just if we
It can be 1, 2 or 3.
If we did only 1, still 4 marks off.
Well, if you did only 1 and there was only 1, yes.
So how do I know if there is more?
Mohammed, stop that. What you do is, when you have 1, you divide it into the cubic to make a quadratic, and then you look at this quadratic. So this quadratic can have 2, 1 or 0 by using the discriminant. So you have to use discriminant on the quadratic after you long divide. Yeah? Okay, part B is they want to sketch now of this graph. Yes. So, to draw this sketch, like all sketches, you need to find basically two main points, which is where it crosses the x and where it crosses the y. So how do you find out where it crosses the y? What do you do for that one? Well, that one you make the x 0.
Yeah.
But you can't do that here because you're dividing by x. Now there is another way to do it, and the other way to do it is by using a table. And what I mean by using a table is you put in all different values of x and you see what values of y you get. Now what values do you use for x though? Where do you start and where do you finish? Well, look carefully at the question. What does the question say?
0 to 6.
0 to 6, but do you include 0? No, so you actually start at 1. So x is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the y here. So you put all of these x values in here, and you get a y value in each case. It will take some time, but it's just a matter of putting each number in to get all the different values for y.
No, we know 3.
We know 3 of them?
Yeah. No, we know 1 and 3 and 1, 3, 5 is 0. Yeah. It's a root.
Ah, yes. Yes. Well, let's pretend we didn't have that foresight and just do it the long way. Okay. Okay, so when I put x as 1, my value of y will be 0. When I put x as 2, I get minus 21. When I put x as 3, is it though?
Yeah, 0.
Maybe I typed it in wrong on my calc.
No, it's 0.
Alright, I'll check it again. Alright, so it is x squared, yes, minus 9x plus 23 minus 15 over x. Is that right? Alright, so I'm putting in x as 1. Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, so 0, and then when I put in 2, I get 1.5, and then when I put in 3, I get 0. And when I put in 4, I get minus 0.75. And when I put in 5, I get 0. And when I put in 6, I get 2.5. So let me try my very best to draw this for you. X-axis, y-axis. Now the x goes from 1 to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And my y goes, at most it looks like 3 really. 1, 2, 3. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So my first point is 1, 0. Then my next point is 2, 1.5. And then 0. And then 4 and minus 0.75. Sorry, that's not very clear. Should be about there. And then 0 again. And then 6 is 2.5. So that'd be about there. So if you were to draw this, it would look roughly like this by connecting the points. It has a cubic-like shape to it. It looks a bit like a cubic. And now for the pretty one. X squared minus 9x plus 23 minus 15 over x.
Exactly the same.
Exactly the same, yes. So that's what you should be getting. Okay, part C. You want to draw this?
No, the other one.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
I didn't follow the point.
Hmm?
And just he's writing for me and I said have to follow exactly the points. Oh yeah, I just put
Like, whatever.
yeah.
Okay, C part now is they ask you to do this calculation. 2 to 4 x cubed minus 9x squared plus 23x minus 15. No, sorry, that's the wrong one. It's not that one. They want you to use the x squared minus 9x plus 23 minus 15 over x. The f function. Yep. So first we need to integrate. So this will be x cubed over 3 minus 9x squared over 2 plus 23x minus 15 log x. 4 and 2. So put in the 4 first. What's that? 4, 16, 64 over 3, is it? 4 cubed?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so 64 over 3. Now, 4 squared is 16. 16 over 2 is 8. So minus 72. And then 46, 92. Yeah, 92. Plus 92 minus 15 log 4. And then we put in the 2. 8 over 3, 2 squared is 4, 4 over 2 is 2, minus 18 plus 46 minus 15 log 2. Now we type all of that into our calculator, see what we get. Zero point 269. Okay. And the last part of this question is find the area between the x-axis, x is 2 and x is 4. So if I go to my nice graph, they want the area between x is 2 and x is 4. So let me maybe zoom in a bit here. Whoa. So here between x is 2 and x is 4, they want the area. So if you can imagine, I just draw a line here, and then I draw a line here. Actually, I wonder if I can draw those lines in. X is 2. Yep. X is 4. Okay. Do you see this piece here and this piece here? They want the area of those two pieces. So you have to separate them into 2 because one of them is negative. So the area would equal 2 to 3 x squared minus 9x plus 23 minus 15 over x minus, oh well, I'll put my dx in, minus then 3 to 4. And then the same thing, x squared minus 9x plus 23 minus 15 over x. So you realize you're doing the exact same thing again. That's all there is. So I won't even go through each step. We'll just go, I'll just give you the answer. But it's the same as the previous one. You integrate, you put in the two numbers, and that's it. So here,
So it's dx.
yeah, dx at the end here as well. I'll put in nice red brackets.
What's on the other side that dx?
Minus here. Okay. So when you put all of that in your calculator, do all the calculations, you'll get 1.233. Now, I want you to notice something very different. In the previous case, they ask you for integration from 2 to 4, which normally means area, doesn't it? But you see that the answer you got here is very different to the actual answer for the area. And that's because when you integrate to find the area, you must make sure it's positive for the whole region. So sometimes they ask you, although they don't do that in question 1, they do it in question 3, comment on the difference between answer B and answer C. And the reason that they're different is answer B, you did not adjust for the negative part of the graph. That's why it's different to answer C. In answer C, by separating, that's making an adjustment. Scroll up? No. What do you mean scroll up? Where? This is everything.
Oh, okay.
Isn't it? No, in fact, this is everything for part D. This is part D. And that last one was part C.
Yeah, yes.
Well, I'll leave it there for a moment, but I'm going on now. Okay. Number 2. So they give you the graph this time, and they give you the equation 2x squared plus 7 over x, and they want the equation of Pn. And they tell you in the question that Pn is a tangent. Okay, so number 2 now. I have to zoom back in. Oops, too far. There. Okay, 2. Y equals 2x squared plus 7 over x. And we're told that x is 1 if you look at the graph. So if I put 1 into this, I'll get 9 for the y. Now, I want the equation of the tangent line. The equation of the tangent line is y equals mx plus c. How do I find the m? M is the derivative. So m is dy dx, which in this case will be 4x. Now you have to change this into x power minus 1. So it would be minus 7x minus 2. But the x is equal to 1. So you get minus 3 there for the m. Now, how do I find the c? Substitute in a point. So I get 9 equals minus 3 plus c. So c equals 12. So my tangent line, y equals mx plus c.
Why is it minus 7x?
Derivative of the previous line, because it was x minus 1 as a power. Yeah. Now, look at the graph. They want you to find n. How do you describe n? If you look at the graph, what is n? It's where the tangent line crosses the x-axis. So how do you find out where this tangent line crosses the x-axis? What would you have to do? Y is 0. So you get 0 equals minus 3x plus 12. So therefore x will end up equaling 4. Now, next part is he wants the area And what's great is this graph negative? No. So if you want the area, it's just going to be a straightforward 1 to 4 integration. No need to change the sign. So it's 1 to 4, 2x squared plus 7 over x dx, which will equal 2x cubed over 3 plus 7 log x, 4 and 1. So if I put in the 4 cubed is 64 times 2, 128 over 3 plus 7 log 4 minus 2 over 3 plus 0. Okay, so let's get what that's equal to. So that works out to be 51.7. So that's part C done. Now the last part, which is a little bit tricky. Show that the line PN divides the area found in the ratio 1 to 2.83 approximately. So if you look up here at your graph, we just found the whole area, okay? But if you look at it, you see your tangent line splits it into 2 halves. So there's a lower piece and then there's an upper piece, okay? He wants the proportion, the ratio of each piece, okay? Now, the lower piece is actually kind of easy to do because it's just a triangle. Okay. So what's the area of a triangle? Well, let me draw it out, okay? There's the triangle. Now, what's the value of x at the start of the triangle? No, it's 1. And then at the end is, oh sorry, my triangle's the wrong way around. It's going down. So here is 1 and here is 4. Now what's the y value here? What's the height? Well, if you remember at the very beginning, I put x equal to 1. And what did I get for y? 9. So the height is 9. So this area will be a half the base by the height, which is 13.5 units. Now, we would like next to find this piece here. But if you think about it, that upper piece there, it's the whole thing, yeah, minus the triangle. So that is 51.7 minus 13.5, and you get 38.2. So that's for the upper piece. So what you've got now is the lower piece to the upper piece. That would equal the triangle to 38.2. Now, in case you can't remember elementary school, the way to simplify this is to divide both of those by 13.5. So dividing both of these by 13.5, and you get 2.83, which is what he asks us to show. It is tricky. Amjad. You're not here to understand. You're here to do maths. Did you think the two were the same? No. Okay, number 3 now. Last one there. Y equals x cubed minus x squared minus 2x. And I want to know where does it cross the x-axis. So in other words, I want to solve it. So in other words, I want to factorize it. So you can see that there's one factor that's already there. That's something that's in common to all of these. What's that? What's in all of these? X. So I can take x out. So there's my first factor. X squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. And then this is just a regular quadratic. So I think that would be x minus 2x plus 1 equals 0. So you get 3 roots. The first root is 0, 2, and minus 1. Or if you want to put them in order, the roots will be like this. 0, minus 1, and 2. So they're the 3 roots. Anyways, the first question is where does it cross the x-axis? So that's the answer there. At that, and that are the 3 places it crosses the x-axis. And he gives them names. I call them, or they call them A, K, and C. So that's the A, K, and C there. Right, part B now is a bit of integration. So integrate from A to C. So that'd be minus 1 to 2 x cubed minus x squared minus 2x dx. So that would be x 4 over 4 minus x cubed over 3 minus 2x squared over 2, 2 and minus 1. So we put the 2 in first. 2, 4, 8, 16 over 4 is 4 minus 8 over 3. Well, they cancel. Minus 4. And then we put in the minus 1. So that's 1 over 4 plus 1 over 3 minus 1. So what do we get for that when we add it all together? Minus 9 over 4. Now, part C is they want to find the area. So you notice that the problem with the area is some of it is positive, but most of it's negative. Well, no problem. We've seen how to deal with this before. You just have to split it from minus 1 to 0 and 0 to 2. So minus 1 to 0 and then 0 to 2. With a minus. 0 to 2. Now, since this is basically the same type of problem, but twice more, I won't go through all the steps, and I'll just give you the answer.
The answer is D. The answer is D.
No. I'm waiting for the calculator to finish. Yeah.
The problem is sometimes I don't really discover whether I should do antiderivative or second derivative. Yeah.
Max and minimum is derivative, and then area is antiderivative. Oh wait, it's finished now. Okay, so this here is 3.083. Whereas that previous one, just to write in as a decimal, is minus 9 over 4, which is 2.25. Minus 2.25. So the last part, D, comment. Why are the results different? Why is B different to C? Yeah. So you could say, in both cases, we did, what was it, 0 to minus 1 to 2. However, in part C, we adjusted for the negative
What does adjust mean?
fixed region, not region, negative values of y.
We finished.
So now we shall play the Pokemon Battle Victory music, perhaps, or maybe, or maybe Final Fantasy VII Victory music, anything else? Maybe when Super Mario finishes the level with the flag. Yes, yeah. Okay, so that's everything in the book. I'll leave it up now for you to do some revision now. I'll give you a break for a couple of minutes, but now for the rest of the classes this week, I'll basically do whatever questions you need from the book or from past papers. I do recommend past papers though, okay? So you can have a look at past papers, you can have a look at the book, and then I'll do those in class as you need to. Alright? So take a break for a couple of minutes then.
Can I get?
Yes.
Okay, I go get it.
I wasn't going to hand it to you.